Hello, teachers, staff, and students. My name is Carlotta James, and I'm the co-founder of the Monarch Ultra. The Monarch Ultra is a conservation, relay run, and documentary project to raise awareness for monarch butterflies. In 2019, a team of ultra runners, pollinator advocates, and filmmakers followed the monarch migration from Peterborough, Ontario, all the way to Macheros, Mexico. This took us 7 weeks to run alongside the monarch butterflies. We started in the fall on September 19th, and we arrived on November 4th. It was a life-changing experience for all of us involved. We met some really fantastic people along the way. We got to see monarch butterflies flying above us and beside us. And it was also really hard. I'm an ultra runner, and so I ran many of the legs of the Monarch Ultra. But we came back from that experience wanting to do more. And so we are creating this relay run every 2 years to raise awareness for monarch butterflies and to hopefully protect them. And so where did this idea come from? Well, I've been a runner my whole life since I was a little girl. And I've always been inspired by nature and by wildlife and the beauty of trees and water and different ecosystems. And so it was about in 2016 when I was running along the Trans-Canada trails, and I noticed there were a few monarch butterflies with me. That year, their population really plummeted, and their populations have been plummeting for the last 20 years. And so at that moment, I had an aha moment, and I thought, what would it feel like to follow the monarch migration by foot, by running the entire migration? And so from that moment, I started working on the idea and designing and coordinating and planning what it would look like. And we had a team of us that worked together. And then in the fall of 2019, that dream came true. We're running for monarch butterflies again this fall. But before I get into our plans for the next version, I'm going to show you a 10-minute documentary about the Monarch Ultra to hopefully get you inspired and want to participate.
I've been on the road documenting 46 runners running ultramarathon distances for 47 days in a row. We traveled 4,300 kilometers and crossed 2 international borders with a mission of connecting communities across North America to protect monarch butterflies.
We really think the Monarch Ultra is a way to connect us, but also to do something positive.
Que la mariposa monarca sea el eje de un plan de conservación.
Ellos vinieron desde Canadá para sensibilizarnos sobre la importancia que tiene la ruta migratoria de la mariposa monarca.
Watching millions of monarch butterflies concentrated in the forest is an experience of a lifetime. Just to imagine that every year, these butterflies travel over 4,000 kilometers from Canada and the US to these mountains in Mexico is outstanding. Their journey is one of nature's miracles and is a feat of resiliency. For Mexicans, the monarch's arrival represents the return of their ancestors. Monarchs are a symbol of Mexico's yearly celebration, El Día de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. But death is what they have been facing in the last 20 years.
And they are disappearing. Their numbers are down 90% in just 20 years. In Mexico, where they overwinter, deforestation and storms have wreaked havoc on the population. In Canada, pesticides have destroyed the milkweed plant where the monarch breed.
All that we've heard in the news in the past 2, 3, 4 years about loss of our pollinators. I think it's a call to action for all of us.
Their populations are in steep decline. In the 1980s, their numbers were in the billions, and now they're in the millions. And there's many reasons for that. It's pesticide use, climate change, habitat loss, disease. And it's not just monarch butterflies, it's all pollinators that are in decline. And without them, our food security systems would be hurt, as well as all of our ecosystems. They pollinate 80% of the flowering species on this earth. So without pollinators, in 50 years, we would have nothing. When I run, I'm always aware of my surroundings and what I'm feeling and what I'm going through. But then also, there's a creative energy that happens with every step that I take. It was on one of these runs that I just felt really inspired and empowered by these beautiful insect pollinators. And I really wanted to understand what their flight path looks like, what their migration would feel like doing it by foot.
One day I got this email from Carlotta, asked me to meet because he has a documentary idea.
Wouldn't it be amazing to run the same distance as the monarch butterflies from Peterborough, Ontario, all the way to the Sierra Madre Mountains in Mexico?
I love the idea and I wanted to get involved. And I said, yeah, I really want to do this. Then we realized that we needed more people to help out. And the first question was, who's going to design this route?
My role is to make sure that the entire course, the 4,200 kilometers, is safe for runners to run on. I also have to check out each of the stop points, the 8 points, to make sure it's a safe place to park a car and have a little crew on the side of the road.
I was very excited to hear about the project, and I said, well, what you guys need is a chef, somebody who looks after you and cooks for you. Because food is so important. Food brings us together. Maybe drink a little glass of wine and have a decent meal, and it keeps people healthy. And we don't have to go to fast food places and eat fast food and or restaurant and spend a lot of money on that.
After 2 years of planning, and with the help from individuals, organizations, and local governments, the Monarch Ultra was ready to take flight. With a new to us RV to transport the crew and offer 8 stations to runners along the route, we were off. The run was for the butterflies, and we want to recognize what a butterfly has to go through and the struggles that they have to face when they do this migration from Canada. So 4,000 kilometers, they have to face deforestation, they have to not be able to find food. For runners, it was a similar idea. They have to run to really tough conditions and running distance 50, 80, 100 kilometers at a time.
It's bloody hot out there.
Not all the runners finished the run. Some got injured, some got heat stroke.
The physical part isn't as daunting as the mental part. When your body is tired after 60, 70 kilometers and you still have 30 or 40 to go, you have to have the mental toughness, or maybe experience, I guess, to not succumb to that. Our bodies can do so much more than we initially think until we really push them hard.
Con gran entusiasmo fue recibida en Reynosa la corredora originaria de Canadá, Carlotta James, quien de manera simbólica corre la ruta de regreso a nuestro país de la mariposa monarca, con la finalidad de preservar su conservación.
Por eso estamos corriendo por Norteamérica y queremos hacer un proyecto para la tierra.
Citizen action and community engagement is big, and we don't give it enough credit. We had no major sponsor. Our funding was minuscule. We had like $20 a day that we could spend on food and accommodation. And yet it happened because of hundreds and hundreds of volunteers across the continent that said, yes, this is an amazing project, and what can I do to help make it happen?
I was up at Emerson Heights the other day watching the kids do their mini ultra, and it's great to see young people getting involved in conservation and just environmental awareness. It's not just about monarchs, it's about community, it's about building awareness of conservation and the threats that we as humans pose to a lot of the other species that we share this planet with.
I think it's underappreciated how much environment and climate policy really overlap with everything else. It's all social equity focused and related to kind of like justice issues as well. So
El futuro de nuestras nuevas generaciones va a estar en preservar nuestro medio ambiente, en cuidar nuestro medio ambiente, y hoy con ustedes está germinando esa semilla que en un inicio de este gobierno, de esta administración se hizo. If we, as a group, talk to a whole lot of people, maybe some of those conversations are going to be with legislators or business people or the people that direct the money that control our how we handle environmental issues.
Thank you, Mayor Ron Nierenberg and City Council. My name is Carlotta James. I'm an ultra runner, a pollinator advocate, and co-founder of the Monarch Ultra. While I am deeply honored to stand here and share the vision behind the Monarch Ultra and its connection to butterfly and pollinator conservation, we cannot ignore the impact of climate change on monarchs and other pollinator populations.
Nos gusta la mariposa monarca y el reconocimiento a ustedes de otros países que nos visitan en México.
Those moments coming into Macheros, it was a feeling like we had arrived. We'd been on this crazy long geographical journey, emotional journey, this amazing journey, and we were at the point, we were at our finish, we're at our goal. We reached, we hit the target. It was amazing.
The success of this project was possible thanks to our community support. Many people across the countries we ran through helped us with meals, accommodations, transportation, and logistics. Perhaps community participation is the best way to protect our environment. There's hope, and therefore we will continue to run to save our pollinators.
Wasn't that beautiful? It always makes me feel so emotional to watch that 10-minute documentary that Rodney Fuentes created. And it's hard to capture everything that happened 2 years ago on that 7-week journey. But all I know is that many people care about pollinators and many people want to do something about it. And so I truly believe our 3 countries, Canada, the States, and Mexico, if we continue to collaborate and work together, we can save monarchs and other pollinators. And so now that brings me to the next relay run. We won't be running to Mexico this fall. That will happen in 2023, but we will be launching the second Monarch Ultra relay run. And so what that means is we're going to be staying in Ontario only. We won't be crossing any borders because of COVID-19. And it will be a 21-day relay run starting in Peterborough and running south to Toronto, St. Catharines, along Lake Erie to Windsor, and then winding up and ending in Barrie. I'm going to show you what the route looks like, just so that you can see Here it is. So there's the route. And as you can see, we're starting in Peterborough again and going all the way along the waterfront trail and as well as the Trans-Canada Trail. It's going to be pretty epic. We've been working really hard with conservation groups and schools and municipalities, so they're aware that we're running through their town. And if you're a school board and you'd like to work with us as well, please contact us at themonarchultra@gmail.com. I'm just going to stop sharing again. There's so many ways for schools to get involved and for kids to get involved. I mean, we're doing this for the next 7 generations. And, you know, we believe so strongly in protecting the earth and fighting for it. And so it's all the kids that we care about immensely. And so we hope you'll get involved. While we're running this fall, we hope that schools across Ontario will also, you know, start something called the Mini Monarch Ultra, just like what you saw in that 10-minute video at Edmondson Heights. And so what that means is that kids will also get outside and run while the relay runners are running. And we're also encouraging schools to build pollinator gardens. And if you don't have pollinator gardens, there's a lot of information available online. I will share my screen again to show you what we've created on our website. Let's see, call to action. So this is on our website, themonarchultra.com. And so there's many ways that you can support monarch and pollinators. And one of them is to plant pollinator gardens. And right here in this graphic that I created, there's 8 of my favorite plant species, one of them being milkweed, which is the sole food source for monarch butterflies. So what that means is when monarch butterflies lay eggs, they only look for milkweed plants. And then when the eggs turn to caterpillars, this is the food that the caterpillars need to turn into butterflies. And there's 3 species of milkweed in Ontario, common, butterfly, and swamp, and they're all gorgeous. Swamp in particular has an incredible smell, so if you plant it, make sure to smell it. And next to milkweed, we have goldenrod, liatris, culver's root, lupine, joe pyeweed, black-eyed Susan, and echinacea. There's a lot of information on our website. Our website's themonarchultra.com. And, you know, you can contact us if you need help with planting pollinator gardens. We're happy to send information along. And the last way that you can participate, we recently launched a virtual 10K. And so what that means is we realize that not everyone is an ultra runner. You know, not everyone can run 50 kilometers. So we decided to launch this virtual event for folks that want to do something for monarch butterflies, but they need a shorter distance. So the Monarch Ultra Virtual 10K means that you can run, walk, bike, or hike 10 kilometers, raise awareness for monarch butterflies, raise funds for Camp Kawartha, and you'll also receive a beautiful monarch-inspired medal. I'm going to show you what the website looks like. It's on raceroster.com, and just look for Monarch Ultra Virtual 10K. It cost $40 to participate, and those funds go to helping all of our different projects. And like I said, you can fundraise for Camp Kawartha, which is a fantastic organization. They've been providing summer camps to kids for over 100 years. And so this is the information on the running side, cycling, walking, or hiking. And that's that's the medal right there. It's so beautiful. And the other side has the 4 life cycles of the monarch butterfly. So that brings me to the end of my presentation. I would love it if schools across the country, and in particular across Ontario, got involved. There's so many ways that you can raise awareness for monarch butterflies. If you're an artist, paint something. If you're a poet, write something. If you're a runner, run for monarchs and join the virtual event. And if you'd like to get involved, just contact us. and I'd be happy to let you know how to do so. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. This means a lot to me to have youth involved, and I look forward to seeing some of you this fall. Thank you so much.